Some days I barely do anything, just walk through the living room and still feel like my brain is about to burst from the mess. Not because it's dirty, not because there's too much stuff. It's just, everything feels out of place, like the room isn't settled. Have you ever felt that too? Even after you've tidied up, even after you've tried to keep things in order, there are still moments where the space just blurs and your eyes can't find where to land. Today's video is all about that. I'm going to share 10 simple, quick tricks that make a space look instantly tidier. No deep cleaning, no shopping, no striving for perfection. These are things I've tried myself in those moments where I had just 3 minutes before someone came over, or when I felt overwhelmed and didn't know where to begin. Some of these take 30 seconds. Some just shift how you see a space. But what's amazing is this: when your eyes feel calm, your whole body follows. My hope is that this video gives you a few gentle anchors, little ways to make the space around you feel more manageable and your own mind a little lighter. If you're in the middle of a heavy day or simply craving a bit of peace inside your home, I'm here and this video is for you. So let's begin with these 10 small shifts, starting with something most people overlook: a quiet, cluttered corner. Let's begin with something simple, almost invisible: the corners we've trained ourselves to ignore. You know, that little pile in the hallway? The shoes that never quite made it to the rack, or the bag you dropped 3 days ago and haven't moved since. We stop seeing these corners, not because they don't bother us, but because we're too used to stepping around them. The shift is simple. Pick one hidden or ignored spot. You walk past every day, behind a door, next to the stairs, under the console table, and remove just 3 things from it. That's it. No big organizing project, no bins or labels. Just clear enough so that the space feels like it can breathe again. In my house, it was the corner by the front entry. 1 reusable bag, a random dog leash, and 2 empty boxes from last week's delivery. I had stopped noticing them, but once I cleared that spot, the entire entryway felt lighter. Like the day could actually start fresh. Small corners hold surprising weight. When they're cluttered, they make the whole room feel stalled, like nothing's finished. But when you clear them even just a little, you create momentum. And sometimes that's all we really need. And if your living room happens to be that space, the one that feels stuck no matter what you do, tomorrow's video will walk you through exactly how I turned mine into a clear, calm zone in one short afternoon. You'll see the process: what I skipped, what I kept, and what made the biggest difference fast. So if that room has been bothering you lately, don't miss it. Now let's shift our focus to something even smaller: single items that quietly create visual noise all over the house. There was a time when I thought clutter meant big piles and messy drawers. But some of the most stressful messes are tiny, just one object sitting in the wrong place, quietly stealing attention every time I walk by. A single water bottle left in the middle of the dining table, 1 bag slumped by the couch, a hoodie draped over the only chair in the hallway. These loners don't seem like a problem, but they disrupt the space more than we realize. Our eyes get stuck on them. Our brain flags them as unfinished. And suddenly, everything feels off. The fix is gentle. Just look around your space and ask, is there anything standing alone that looks like it doesn't belong? Don't overthink it. Pick it up, put it back, or give it a real home if it doesn't have one yet. For me, it was a single lunchbox on the kitchen counter, always there, always waiting to be dealt with later. And every time I saw it, I felt behind. Once I gave it a home inside the lower cabinet in a basket just for lunch gear, that background noise disappeared. 1 item at a time, one feeling of "I've handled that at a time." That's how we build a sense of calm. Next, we'll look at something even more subtle: the way reflections and surfaces can quietly amplify stress without us even noticing. Next, let's talk about something that doesn't always look messy, but can feel messy without you even realizing why. Mirrors, windows, glossy counters, fridge doors. Any surface that reflects light also reflects the smallest signs of neglect: smudges, fingerprints, streaks of dust. And because your eyes are naturally drawn to them, your brain registers them before anything else. This used to happen to me in the bathroom all the time. I'd clean the sink, pick up the towels, wipe down the counter, but still feel like something was off. Until one day, I wiped the mirror just a quick swipe with a cloth, and it suddenly felt like the whole space had snapped into place. It's such a small thing, but it creates instant clarity. When reflective surfaces are clean, they don't just look better, they help you feel clearer. It's like cleaning your glasses or your phone screen. The world didn't change, but now you can actually see it. This tip takes under a minute. Choose one surface you look at, often a mirror in the hallway, the kitchen window, the oven door, and give it a quick clean. No need to scrub, just enough to remove the blur. Let's move now from what reflects to what collects. There's one area of the home that quietly absorbs too many roles and ends up making your day harder without you even knowing it. There was a time when I thought I just needed more bins, more drawers, more organizers, more clever storage. But what I really needed was less confusion. So many clutter problems don't come from too much stuff, they come from too many categories trying to live in the same place. The same drawer holds pens, hair ties, keys, batteries. The same basket holds chargers, dog toys, and mail. When a space doesn't have a clear job, your brain struggles to process it, and your eyes read it as mess. The shift here is simple but powerful. Pick one drawer, shelf, or basket and give it a single purpose. One job. That's it. In my house, it was the drawer next to the fridge. I called it the utility drawer, which basically meant everything with nowhere to go. And every time I opened it, I felt like I was failing at being organized. One day, I emptied the whole thing and decided, this drawer is for food clips, measuring spoons, and nothing else. It took less than 15 minutes, but now I open it and feel calm. No searching, no guilt, no guessing. Giving one space, one clear job, gives you clarity too. And once you feel that, it becomes easier to do the same in other areas, slowly, not all at once. Next, we're going to talk about something that seems helpful but can actually backfire: containers. Let's look at how the way we use baskets and bins can either support us or quietly overwhelm us. I used to think that if I just had more baskets, I'd finally feel organized. But the truth is, bins don't solve clutter, they only contain it. And sometimes they just hide the overwhelm instead of helping you face it. The trick isn't finding better containers, it's using them as boundaries. Pick one bin, one basket, or one drawer today. Look at what's inside. If it's full, that doesn't mean you need to get another one. It means this is the limit. This space tells you kindly but firmly, this is how much you can manage right now. I had a bin in our hallway closet labeled cords. Over time, it became a jungle: old phone chargers, broken headphones, random cables from who knows when. I kept thinking I should sort this properly someday, but someday never came. So I emptied it out, kept only what I actually use, and told myself this bin stays half full, or less. Now I can find what I need without digging through a pile of tangled maybes. Containers should help you decide, not delay. If the bin is full, it's not a signal to find more space. It's a nudge to let something go. Next, let's shift to something more emotional: the spaces you pass through every day that quietly shape the mood of your entire home. Next, let's look at the spaces you pass through without noticing, but that quietly shape how your whole day feels. Some areas in the home aren't really rooms, they're in-between spaces. The entryway, the area next to your bed, the corner where your bag lands when you walk in. We pass through them so quickly, but they hold more emotional weight than we realize. I used to think these spots didn't matter, that as long as the kitchen and living room looked okay, I was doing fine. But these transition zones, they set the tone for the entire day. Here's the shift. Choose one of these small pass-through areas and make it a habit to reset it daily, just one spot. Maybe it's putting shoes back in place near the door. Maybe it's clearing the nightstand before bed. Maybe it's folding the throw blanket you always leave on the couch. For me, it was the corner near the kitchen table. That's where my bag, water bottle, hoodie, and receipts all ended up after work. And even though the rest of the room was fine, that one spot made everything feel chaotic. Now I take 2 minutes before dinner to put those things away, and somehow it makes the whole evening feel more grounded. These little spaces are like doorways to your day. When they're clear, you enter your home and your life with more ease. Next, we'll move from what's in the way to how things are laid out. Because sometimes the stress isn't about what we own, but how it's sitting. Now let's talk about shape, not what you own, but how it sits in your space. There was a time when I thought clutter was about how much stuff I had. But often the problem isn't the number of things, it's the way they spread. Items scattered across surfaces flatten your space, pull your eyes in too many directions, and make everything feel messier than it is. The solutions stand things up. Vertical storage creates a sense of structure and order. When you lift things off the ground, whether it's shoes, bags, towels, or even pantry items, your brain sees fewer individual pieces and more cohesive shapes. In our entryway, we used to just kick off shoes wherever. It didn't seem like a big deal. But after adding a narrow vertical shoe rack, the floor felt clearer, and suddenly the whole hallway seemed intentional, not temporary. Same thing happened with scarves in the closet. I rolled them up in a drawer for years, but when I hung them vertically on a hook, it was like they became one single calm line instead of 5 noisy piles. This works even in the kitchen, stacking cutting boards, vertically storing pans on their side, or simply propping up cookbooks on a small stand. You're not changing what you have, just the posture it takes. Let's move now from how things are arranged to how they line up. Because sometimes, even if you don't put anything away, there's still a way to make the space feel instantly more organized. Next, let's talk about something so small it barely feels like a tip, but it works like a visual reset button. Sometimes I don't have the time or energy to tidy. And in those moments, I found one simple habit that instantly calms a space without actually putting anything away. I align the edges. It sounds silly, but it's surprisingly powerful. On a bookshelf, I pull all the books forward so the spines line up. On the kitchen counter, I nudge the utensil holder, salt jar, and cutting board into a straight row. In the bathroom, I turn the labels on bottles to face the same way. That's it. You're not removing anything. You're just arranging what's already there so your eyes can group it more easily. And when your eyes feel less scattered, your mind follows. One night, I didn't have the energy to clean our bathroom, but I straightened the towels, lined up the soap and toothbrush holder, and centered the tissue box. It took under 2 minutes, and somehow it felt like the whole space exhaled. Not spotless, but settled. So the next time you feel too tired to declutter, try this. Align the edges of just 3 things. It won't fix everything, but it gives your brain one small place to rest. Coming up, we're going to zoom in even more to the very first thing your eyes land on when you enter a room. Because that first impression, it sets the tone for everything else. Now let's focus on what your eyes notice first. The very first impression your room gives you, often without you realizing it. There was a time when I thought I had to clean everything to feel better. But then I started paying attention to just one small shift. What's the first thing I see when I walk into the room, whether it's the bed? When you enter the bedroom, the counter when you enter the kitchen, or the coffee table in the living room, your brain forms a snap judgment based on that one area. And if that first glance feels messy, it colors the way you see everything else. The tip is simple. Instead of cleaning the whole room, clean that one focal point. Just enough to let your eyes relax when they land. For me, it was the chair across from the front door. I used to drop my bag there every day. Then papers, then a jacket, then a book I meant to read. It became a tiny mountain of delay. Now I clear it once a day, just that one chair, and it's amazing how it changes the whole feel of walking into the house. So next time you feel stuck or overwhelmed, ask yourself, what's the first thing my eyes will see? Then clear that, nothing more. One focus point can shift the entire room. And now for the final tip. We're going to look at something that isn't about mess at all. It's about the weight certain spaces carry, and how lightening just one can change how you feel in your home. Finally, let's talk about the kind of clutter you don't always see with your eyes, but you feel it. There was a time when I kept wondering why certain rooms felt heavy even when they were technically tidy. Then I realized some surfaces aren't messy because of objects, they're messy because of what those objects represent. The kitchen table covered in unopened mail. The nightstand holding 3 books you haven't touched in weeks. The fridge door covered in old reminders. These aren't just things, they're feelings you haven't had time to deal with. Here's the shift. Choose one surface in your home that feels emotionally stuck. Not the messiest one, the one that makes you sigh every time you look at it. And just spend 5 minutes giving it attention. Remove what no longer needs to be there. Wipe it down. Maybe add something small that makes you smile, a candle, a photo, even just space. For me, it was the corner of my desk. That's where I kept putting things I hadn't figured out yet. Receipts, notebooks, sticky notes with ideas I wasn't sure I could follow through on. Every time I sat down, it reminded me of everything I hadn't done. One day I cleared it completely and put a single framed quote there instead. Now it doesn't whisper pressure, it reminds me I'm allowed to reset. Not every surface needs to be spotless, but some of them need to stop holding weight you're no longer meant to carry. Now that we've gone through all 10 tips, let's gently wrap up and remind ourselves what this was really about. Not cleaning harder, just learning to see your home with more kindness and more clarity. Those were 10 simple shifts I return to whenever my space or my mind starts to feel heavy. Nothing dramatic, just quiet, doable ways to feel a little more at home in my own home. If you've been craving more ease, more breathing room, or just less decision fatigue, maybe one of these is where you begin. I also made a separate video that walks through how to declutter by area, room by room, so you can take it slow and steady. You'll find the link below. And if this video helped you exhale even a little, feel free to click like it lets me know this kind of content is truly supporting you. And tomorrow, if you're ready to tackle the one room that often sets the tone for the entire house, I'll be showing you exactly how I made my living room feel open, settled, and totally manageable in less time than I expected. Not a full makeover, just real fast shifts that work. Trust me, you'll want to see it. Set a reminder, or come back here tomorrow because it might just unlock the reset you've been needing.